In this video, we will use the various factors you learned about in video number 1 to analyze and determine Jefferson's and Douglas's perspectives. Let's begin with the Declaration of Independence. We know the author of the DOI was Thomas Jefferson. He was British, however, he identified as a colonist. He was born in the colonies. Let's look at Jefferson's social status. Jefferson was very rich. He came from a wealthy family, and he also inherited lots of land from his father. He came from a well-respected family. He was a politician, a lawyer, and was a very good writer. He was also a planter. He owned a tobacco plantation, and he owned enslaved people. He was very powerful and influential, and he was a founding father and the third president of the United States. Jefferson was European, particularly he was British and Welsh. He lived in the colony, so he was surrounded by many different cultures. He was a Christian. He believed in God. It's mentioned throughout the Declaration of Independence. He was a follower of Christianity. And in regards to his education, Jefferson was very well educated. He started university or college at the age of 16 and had many, many talents. He eventually became a very famous writer. Now let's look at our second source, Frederick Douglass's What to the Slave is the 4th of July. Now we know the author is Frederick Douglass. He identified as American. In regards to his social status, Douglass was born into slavery. He had very little opportunity to earn money for his own labor. He did not know his mother very well and never knew the identity of his father. He had to escape slavery. Later in his life, he became very influential in the abolitionist movement, which was the fight to end slavery. He became a powerful writer and speaker. He traveled to Europe to speak about the evils of slavery in America. In regards to Douglass's ethnicity, he was African American, so he was surrounded by enslaved people. He experienced and witnessed the horrors of slavery, and later in his life, he developed strong relationships with white abolitionists who were also fighting to end slavery. He was also a Christian. However, later in his life, he left the church, stating that American Christianity basically allowed for the horrors of slavery to continue. In regards to his education, he had limited opportunities for education. He was self-educated and eventually became a famous writer and orator.